Good morning, my friends. Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Come, let us play with this practice of breathing, meditation, and love. This is a guided meditation. It'll take you close to an hour, maybe longer. So this is for more advanced contemplatives. If you want to, you can begin practicing 5 minutes twice a day. And then next week, 10 minutes twice a day. And then next week, 15 minutes twice a day. And bit by bit, you'll make progress. We're going to begin with the Metta loving kindness meditations. And while we do this, we're going to be stimulating our energy to empower us for the breathing meditation. We begin, I'm not sure if you can see me on your camera, by touching the tip of our left thumb to the base of our left middle finger, resting the knuckle of our right middle finger, touch it to the tip of our left middle finger, and now counting 3 repetitions with our right thumb upon our right middle finger. Safe for each. Safe for each on the in-breath, safe for each on the out-breath. This doesn't make us wizards. This is just words we use to guide our intention, to train our intention in love. Middle finger has to do with water, and since the left hand is supporting the right hand, this is mutable water. That's often associated with our feet. We now are going to work with both our index fingers touching each other at their tips. So index finger is air, and when they touch at the tips, that's fixed. Fixed air tends to do with our calves. Joy for each. We now turn our attention to our ring fingers. We're going to use our right ring finger to support our left, and right ring fingers are associated with earth, and when right supports left, that's cardinal. This is associated with our skeleton. Health for each. We now turn our attention to our little fingers, which are associated with our fire element. We're going to support our right little finger with our left little finger. That would be mutable fire. It's associated with our thighs and tush. That'll be peace for each. And you'll notice I'm counting creases on my right hand. That completes our first of 3 sets of 4 repetitions. We return our attention to our middle fingers. This time we're touching the tips of our middle fingers together. When our middle fingers touch in this manner, this helps us to access fixed water. Safe for each. We now use our right index finger to support our left, This is cardinal air. Joy for each. We're now going to support our left ring finger. I'm sorry, our right ring finger is going to be supported by our left. This is mutable earth. Health for each. We're now going to turn our attention to our little fingers, touching their tips together for fixed fire. Peace for each. We now begin our third set of 4 repetitions. Let's turn our attention to our middle fingers and use our right middle finger to support our left. This is going to be cardinal water, safe for each. We're now going to turn our attention to our index fingers and use our left index finger to support our right. This is mutable air. Joy for each. We're going to return our attention to our ring fingers. And this time, we're going to touch the tips of our ring fingers together to help us access fixed earth. Health for each. We are now going to conclude this preliminary practice by turning our attention to our little fingers and using our right little finger to support our left. Peace for each. And this is, of course, correlated to our scalp. Okay, that concludes the complex system of 12 gestures. Hello again. Okay, so now it's going to be super, super easy. What we're going to do is simply count 4 sets of 9. The first set of 9, so we count the sets on our left hand. We start by touching our left thumb to the first set of creases at the base of our left ring finger. I'm not sure if you can see that really easily. And then the second set of creases for our second set of 9. Then we start counting on our left middle finger for 1 set of 9. And then our left index finger, 1 set of 9. Very simple. Might seem difficult now, but you'll get used to it. So once we start with our thumb, our left thumb, the first set of creases at the base of our left ring finger. Meanwhile, we count to 9 on our right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We advance our thumbs only during the in-breath. On the in-breath, we recite long breathing. On the out-breath, we silently and mentally recite long breathing. We are not actively striving to control the length of our breath. We are simply letting the words guide our intention, which will guide our thoughts, which will guide our energy, and the subconscious will take care of all the details. We now advance our left thumb up our left ring finger to its second set of creases. Remember, our breathing is passive. Remember, we practice yoga not only to make us look pretty naked, but to help us with our sitting. There's lots of free yoga channels to help you on YouTube. We now slide our left thumb, to the first set of creases on our left middle finger and count another set of 9. Now we move the tip of our left thumb to the first set of creases at the base of our left index finger. Our second Anapanasati exercise also deals with the body, and it's just one word difference. Short breathing. So we count another 4 sets of 12 of 9 repetitions. Short breathing, short breathing. Whatever sensations arise, notice them. Let them do what they do in the background. Remember, our job is not to control our experience, but to simply notice and relax. Come to the third exercise of the first body base. Notice form just means notice body. We're just using a conservation of syllables. 4 sets of 9 repetitions. So noticing our form is noticing what we're doing and how we're doing it. So right now we're sitting. You may notice the position your legs are in and the position that your spine is in. We continue. Notice form, notice form. You may notice parts of your body that you are quite proud of. You may notice parts of your body that you are quite ashamed of. Our job is not to blow sunshine up our ass or flog ourselves, but to notice and relax. We come to the fourth Anapanasati, or in and out breathing with mindfulness meditation. Instead of just noticing our form, now we turn our subtle intention towards relaxing our form. And this prepares us for the practice, the next practice of the first jhana. So please count 4 sets on your left hand and 9 repetitions on your right. That concludes the first base of body. We now turn our attention to the second base of feeling. The first of 4 exercises is breathing bliss. When we recite breathing bliss on the in-breath, and when we mentally and silently recite breathing bliss on the out-breath, we are drawing our attention to the pleasurable feelings associated with respiration. Some pleasure is very coarse, and some pleasure is very subtle. Evolution has wired us to associate at least a certain degree of pleasure to breathing, because without breathing, we die. So by playing with this phrase, it'll subtly guide our intention and our attention to be able to notice the subtle pleasure that's always been there, whether or not we were consciously aware of it. Going to count to 4 sets of 9 repetitions each. Breathing bliss, breathing bliss. The bliss is directly proportional to the passivity, the passiveness of each breath. Your feet are going to fall asleep. That's natural. We do not pay too much attention to the dull pain in our muscles or our flesh. It's the sharp pain in our joints that must capture our attention and prompt us to shift positions, especially if you, like me, endure arthritis. I come to the second exercise of the second base, the one that helps us to access the second jhana, grinning joy. Noticing the facial muscles that are responsible for our subtle smile. can help us to access subtle joy. Grinning joy, grinning joy. We now come to the third exercise of the second phase, which helps us to access the third jhana. We're going to actively notice thoughts. We're not trying to suppress them. We're not trying to make them go away. We're not trying to control them. Notice thoughts for 4 sets of 9 repetitions. By actively reciting, notice thoughts on the in-breath and notice thoughts on the out-breath, silently, mentally, and in harmony with our breath. The noticing will take care of itself. We now come to the fourth and final exercise of the second base. By silently and mentally reciting relaxed thoughts on the in-breath and relaxed thoughts on the out-breath, we can access the fourth jhana. Let's do this for 4 sets of 9 repetitions. Very passive, very gently. Enjoy the show. Do not force the relaxation. We're merely passively invited. We now turn our attention to the third base of mindfulness, that of mind. By working with this exercise, we can access the fifth jhana. So just as cookies may be kept in a cookie jar, thoughts are kept in the mind. And by turning our attention from our thoughts to the mind, we are like a chick pecking its way out of the confines of its shell. Let's perform 4 sets of non-repetitions. We proceed to the second exercise of the third base that can help us to access the sixth jhana. Grin to mind. We're not trying to be like Krusty the Clown or the Joker. It's just a very subtle grin that helps to gladden the mind. Whether our mind contains pleasurable thoughts or painful thoughts, accurate thoughts or inaccurate thoughts, we can still grin to it and gladden our experience, even just a shade. And now turn our attention to the third exercise of the mind base, which can help us to access the seventh jhana. On the in-breath, we silently and mentally recite, relax mind, and likewise, we repeat that phrase silently and mentally during the out-breath. We do not force our mind to relax, that would be impossible. We merely gently intend it. We invite it. We give our mind permission to relax. We come to the fourth exercise of the mind base that can help us to access the eighth jhana. On the in-breath, we silently and mentally recite, freeing mind. And on the out-breath, we silently and mentally recite, freeing mind. It's simply a gentle intention in harmony with our breathing. Having completed the third base, we turn our attention to the fourth and final base, that of Dhamma, or phenomena, the meat, if you will, of Vipassana. This time, we're going to notice change. It's all around us, circumstantial, physical, emotional, intellectual phenomena. Notice change, notice change. Passive breathing. Now proceed to the second exercise of the fourth base, see fading. We don't actively imagine fading. We just allow our mind to visually notice whatever manifestations there are of change that we call fading. Our third exercise of the fourth base is ceasing. On the in-breath, we silently and mentally recite, here ceasing. And on the out-breath, we silently and mentally recite, here ceasing. Ceasing is just a natural part, or natural manifestation of change. The fourth and final exercise of the fourth base of mindfulness is feel release. Somewhere there's release happening every moment. It's just a question of whether we notice it or not. We now come to the final 4 greater metas, or loving kindnesses. And just like the first 4, we're going to train in the 12 elemental permutations. Remember, our job is not to pretend that we're Gandalf the Grey. We're simply guiding our intention in a compassionate direction. We draw our attention to our middle fingers, which is water elements. We support our right middle finger with our left, which helps us to access, well, this water element helps us to access or is associated with the feet. Mindfulness for each being. Eyes open. We bring our attention to our index fingers. We touch their tips. Fixed air, which is associated with our calves. Great insights for each being. Bring our attention, we support our left ring finger with our right. Cardinal earth is associated with our bones. Compassion for each being. Our left little finger supports our right. Immutable fire is associated with thighs and tush. Mastery for each being. What is mastery? When one is able to practice mindfulness, insight, and compassion spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively, that is mastery. We touch the tip of each middle finger. Fixed water is associated with our crotch. Mindfulness for each being. We use our right index finger to support our left. Cardinal air is associated with our kidneys. Great insight for each being. We use our left ring finger to support our right. Mutable earth helps us to access our intestines. Compassion for each being, or I should say is associated with our intestines. We touch the tip of each little finger. That helps us to access fixed fire, which is associated with our heart. Mastery for each being. We come to the final third of our concluding practice. When we use our right middle finger to support our left, we are accessing cardinal water, which is associated with our nipples, our stomach, and our lungs. When we support our right index finger with our left, we access mutable air, which is associated with our shoulders, arms, and hands. Great insight for each being. We touch the tip of each ring finger. We access fixed earth, which is associated with our throat. Compassion for each being. And we conclude by using our right little finger to support our left, which helps us to access fixed fire, which is associated with our scalp. Mastery for each being. My friends, that concludes our guided meditation. If you have any questions, please write them down in the comment area below, preferably the comment area for the YouTube video. You're welcome to attend whatever webinars or live classes I teach. May you and yours be healthy and happy.